Hey, so I'm really excited to share with you guys this new feature that I found in ManyChat that I haven't really heard anybody talking about yet. There's been no fanfare or mention yet. And the amazing thing about this is this feature will allow you to really be able to track stats of how well your flows are converting. Not only that, but also track how well your Facebook ads are doing throughout the whole campaign from Facebook ad through whatever the call to action is in ManyChat. So let me show you what that is. Okay, so the starting step of your flow has pretty much been an afterthought up until recently. So you can see here in this flow example, the starting step has all these different blocks in them showing you where your people are coming in from into this flow. And that's great for times when you need to troubleshoot or you're wondering how are people getting into this flow. Now you know because of this starting step block that will show everything. As you can see here, people are coming in from the different flows that I have set up that I connect to this specific flow, as well as keywords, for Facebook ads, Messenger ref URL as well, and a few other keywords because people who would click on the Messenger ref URL and it wouldn't fire off the flow, they're saying a bunch of keywords asking like, where is the quiz? So I'm like, okay, I need to add all these keywords so I'm not having this be stuck in the live chat forever. So that's a cool thing by itself, but there's a new thing. And right now, looking at all my bots on my account, it's only for newer bot accounts. So newer as in made this year. So I'm sure it's going to gradually roll out to all bots, but right now, so if you go and look and you're like, oh man, I don't have this, it's probably because your bot's a little bit older, but don't worry, I'm sure it is going to be rolled out soon. So what you'll do is when you get to this flow, you want to hit this little pull out screen, and you can see here, choose trigger to see stats. So this though is not correct, or it's not correct in terms of the total amount. You can see so many more have been sent, but it's probably, this has been sent since I last modified the flow is my assumption. So, but let me show you how amazing this little feature is. So let's go to all triggers here. And let's say we do, let's do this one, this top one. I'm gonna say this trigger. This one is, I think, an ad that we just set up just recently. So there's probably not many stats, but you'll see the big difference if it will load. This is obviously a quiz and it's a pretty large flow. And I'm also going to talk about a downside or something to look out for when you're thinking about these stats and something you might need to take into account. So with the fact that I said this, okay, it's been sent 4 times, but in reality it says it's been sent 11 times. So you can see it changes the stats on the individual message blocks, which is amazing. So now you can know which traffic source, how many people are going through it, what the CTRs are. So if like for some reason, let's say you have 3 different ad sets to 3 different audiences that are running to the same flow, because you kind of want to have them all in the same flow, because if you have to make a modification, it's really annoying to have to go through and modify multiple flows, right? So having it all in one, you can now separate out depending on that traffic source. So you can see which audience is converting the best. Let's say audience A, you're getting a ton of messages, but then you see not a lot of them are actually converting whatever that is, getting a coupon, booking an appointment, whatever it is, right? So you can actually then go through and see what the, oh, there's 12 here. Oh, it's because it came back up from a reminder message. So you can see which ones that people are clicking on. So that can give you a lot of valuable information for you to make adjustments or future campaigns based off of this information. So again, yeah, you can choose different triggers. And this one is actually the ref URL, which is getting the majority of the traffic for this bot flow. So obviously having multiple traffic sources is great to be able to piece out, and like I said, figure out which audience is best or which location is best. Like even if you're wanting to track, a Facebook page post organic versus a paid ad, right? So you can have those 2 differences. Or if you're wanting to post, like for example, this ref URL was posted in YouTube videos and on a podcast. So that's why it's gotten a lot more traffic just from the organic reach. So you can see it makes a huge difference. Now, the one downside or caveat that you want to keep in mind when you're building out your flows. So in this example, what was happening, as you see here, this is a pretty big flow. But what I ended up doing is this was the initial big flow that I created for the quiz. And it's just 10 questions, but as you can see, it's getting pretty big and causes some to slow up. So what I did is I actually made it a second, you can see here, continues to another step, this little box here. It's gonna take a while for me to zoom in, but what this is continuing to another step. So I duplicated this quiz and then I put the part 2, so I have a second step that is actually the second half of this. So I'm saying all this to keep in mind for these stats, that those stats, it won't show the ref URL or the ad or whatever that's coming in to that second one. So it'll be a little bit more difficult to find overall conversions if you have multiple flows connecting to each other. Now that might change. There might be an option to be able to see how that overall stat or the results are for your stats if it is multiple flows. But as of right now, that's not an option. So keep that in mind. If you can keep it all in one flow, then that would make it easier for you to track stats. But if not, then as you can see here, because everybody's being sent to that continue to another step, if it's the ref URL, if it's from the ads, then that's why you can see that it's all from here. So if I click on this, see, and it doesn't even give me the options for the trigger steps, I don't think. See, it doesn't give me those options for the trigger steps because this is all just start another flow. So keep that in mind. But in general, this is a great big step in the right direction for being able to track stats effectively. So then that way you can get a better understanding of how well your bot is converting, as well as how what certain audiences, and just getting that information that's really valuable to make informed decisions. So I hope this helps, and hopefully you can utilize this in your chat bot. Even if your bot's not new, that soon it will be rolled out. So anyways, that's it, and thanks, and we'll talk to you later.